everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well. Today's video is going to be a review, comparison, and swatches all about the brand new Colourpop highlighter palette, comparing it to the gorgeous Anastasia and Nicole Guerriero Glow Kit. I also wanted to mention I did do a whole video comparing the Yes Please palette, which is the warm tone one from Colourpop, comparing it to the Natasha Nona Sunset palette. So I will leave that video up here if you guys go check it out, and it will also be down below in the description box if you guys haven't missed out on that. But you all should definitely go check out that video if you love warm tone palettes. But today we're going to be talking about highlighters, which is one of my favorite things, and I'm very excited that Colourpop came out with a highlighting palette, and a lot of people have been saying that this looks very similar to the Anastasia and Nicole Guerriero Glow Kit, which was limited edition. It is sold out and it's not available anymore, so I wanted to give you guys a review on this new one, as well as if it's a dupe for the Anastasia one. So if you're interested in seeing if this is a dupe or a dud, then just keep on watching. So I'm going to tell you all a little bit about the palettes before I jump into the swatches. So I'm going to start out with the Anastasia one. So this was a collaboration palette that she did with Nicole Guerriero, who is also a beauty YouTuber, and this is what it looks like. This sold out so many times. It was always out of stock in store, and it's very popular here on YouTube for a very good reason, because it's absolutely gorgeous. This palette retailed for $40. You do get 0.96 ounces of product for the entire palette. Each individual pans were 0.16 ounces of product, which is a pretty good amount of product. This is what it looks like up close. They are very beautiful, very glittery and shimmery, and give your cheeks a very intense highlighted glow, which a lot of people like and is very in right now. And then Colourpop released their first highlighter palette, which is very exciting. Their first original highlighters were called Super Shock Cheeks, which were individual little highlighters that had the same formula as their Super Shock shadows, which are very interesting, kind of like moussey formula. They're very creamy and kind of wet feeling, but they go on like a powder and they're gorgeous. They also have little duos with a blush and a highlighter, but this is the very first palette in itself that is just a highlighter palette that they've come out with that are all powders, which I really like. I love their Super Shock Cheeks, but I also love this formula of highlighters. So this is what the palette looks like. It retails for only $18. Unlike this eyeshadow palette, which came in a sleeve, this one did not come with a sleeve at all, so it was not protected or anything. It just came like this when I got it. Again, this is only $18 and it is absolutely gorgeous. You do have all the names written on the back of the palette right here with all the information. So this is the palette. This is what it looks like. It says I like your face with the Colourpop logo, but on the back, the actual name of this palette is called Give Me More. It has all of the different names on the back as well, and then you have all 6 of the gorgeous colors. Each of these pans is 3.6 grams of product, or 0.13 ounces, which is a pretty good amount of product considering the price of this palette. Like the Nicole Guerriero Anastasia palette, this is also limited edition. It is out of stock as we speak, but it will be back in stock on July 7th at 10 a.m. along with the other eyeshadow palette that I showed you guys in the other videos. I would definitely set yourself a reminder on your phone or an alarm so you all make sure that you do not miss out on this restock. I know they're going to sell out very fast this time around, but I definitely wanted to show you my thoughts on this palette in comparison to the Anastasia one. So I'm just going to get right into the swatches. I'm going to show you guys the similarities and the differences between both palettes. So I'm going to first start off by showing you the Anastasia one and then showing you the dupe shade in the Colourpop one. So the first one we're going to start out with is called a Kitty Cat, and it's described as a peachy pink with warm undertones. The one that's supposed to be a dupe in the Colourpop palette is this one right here. This one is called Full Service. It is a gold with a pink flip. So there are the two shades. The bottom one is Colourpop and the top one is the Anastasia. As you can see, these ones are a little bit different. Here are those swatches between the two. Again, the top one is Colourpop and the bottom is Anastasia. As you can see, these are not very similar. This Anastasia Glow Kit that she did with Nicole is very glittery in all the different shades, and the Colourpop one, you definitely have to build it up. They are also more of a sheen formula than a super metallic and glittery formula, which I actually like. If you do not like glitter, you definitely want to pick up this Colourpop one. The next shade in the Anastasia Glow Kit is called Forever Young, which is this gorgeous color right here. This one is described as a light medium peachy beige with warm undertones. The closest dupe in the Colourpop palette is this one right here. This is called Upgrade and it's described as a baby pink. There are those two shades right there. So bottom is Colourpop and the top one is Anastasia. There's a comparison between the two. Again, the top one is Colourpop, bottom is Anastasia. The Colourpop one is definitely more icy and this one has more of a warm undertone to it. They're both pinky shades, but this one's more of a cool kind of icy pink, while this one is definitely more of a beigey pink. Next, for the Anastasia kit, we have Daydream, which is this gorgeous color here. This is described as a medium orange with warm undertone. undertones. The closest color dupe in the Colourpop palette is this one right here. It is called Bottomless, and it's described as a tangerine with a gold flip. Here are those two finger swatches. Bottom is Colourpop, top one is Anastasia. And then there are the finger swatches again. The bottom one is Anastasia. It just has so much more glitter and it's so much more beaming. The Colourpop one's definitely more muted. It's still a beautiful kind of tangerine-y color. These both have the same kind of undertone with the warm tangerine color, but this one's definitely brighter and more in your face. This one's more muted. The next color we have from the Anastasia kit is called Forever Lit. This one is described as a bright cool toned white. And then the closest dupe in the Colourpop palette is this first one right here. This one is called Extra and it is described as a pale gold. So there are those two swatches. Colourpop is on the bottom and Anastasia is on the top. There are those two shades again. The Colourpop one is on the top and Anastasia is on the bottom. As you can see, these ones are definitely different. The Anastasia one is way more cool toned and the Colourpop one is definitely more of a white gold. This one has more glitter again and this one's more of a sheen. One of my favorite shades in the Anastasia kit is called Glow Getter, which is this middle shade right here. It's described as a golden copper with warm undertones. The closest one in the Colourpop palette is called Bigger and Better. It is right here and this one is described as a champagne color. Here are those two swatches. Bottom is Colourpop, top is Anastasia. Out of the entire palette, these are the two that are most similar in terms of the undertone and just the color. Of course, the Anastasia one has more shimmer to it. It's more glittery and the Colourpop one is more of a sheen. I'm actually wearing the Colourpop one on both cheeks. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I think it looks really beautiful. It kind of makes your skin look wet, which is why I like the Colourpop ones too, because they're not super glittery, but these are definitely the most similar in the palettes. And then last but not least, we have the shade called 143, which is the last shade on the bottom row. This one is described as a dark gold with warm bronzy undertones. And the last one in the Colourpop palette that is somewhat similar, I don't think they're dupes, but this is the color right here. It's called Total Package and it's described as a metallic rose gold. There are the two shades swatched. The bottom one is Colourpop and the top one is Anastasia. So there are those two colors. As you can see, this Colourpop one has quite an intense metallic sheen. The Anastasia one is definitely more bronzy and this one is more rose gold. So these are not dupes to each other, but they're both gorgeous and I do really like that the Colourpop palette does have a rose gold. So now that you've seen the side-by-side swatches and comparisons between these two palettes, I don't think that these are dupes for each other. The formulas are very different in itself and the colors do not exactly match up. Again, the closest one in both palettes is this one and this one, the one I'm wearing on my cheekbones. It's a really pretty shade and I do think if you missed out on the Anastasia kit and you don't like something so glittery as the Nicole Guerriero kit was, I would definitely try out this new formula from Colourpop because it is really beautiful. The colors are a little bit more muted, but they do build up really nicely on the cheeks and you can really get an intense wet look. If you do apply them a little bit damp either on your face or on your brush with some Max Fix Plus or some setting spray, which I like to do, I actually did not do that with these and I think it's really beautiful on the cheekbones. It's just that perfect amount of sheen where it makes your cheeks look wet and I just think it's absolutely gorgeous, and for the price you just cannot beat it. This one's only $18 and this one was $40. So although they are not dupes and everyone says they look very similar, they do look similar, but again when it comes to formula and coloring I do not think they are exact dupes. But I do think again this is a great alternative if you want to try out some new highlighters. It is a very nice palette. I love the mixture of colors that they did put in this. These really bright colors would look absolutely gorgeous as blushes or blush toppers if you like that luminous glow, but I love again the mixture of shades. You have some really light tones as well as some kind of bronzy and rose golds, and again if you do have a deeper skin tone or deeper complexion, it would look so beautiful on your cheekbones to wear these ones as highlighters as well. So I really do like the fact that they did cater to a variety of different skin tones. I also really like the packaging. It's nice and slim, it feels nice and sturdy, kind of has like a nice weight to it even though it is a cardboard packaging, and again it's only $18. So I definitely do not think you can miss out on this. I think it's gorgeous. They're buildable, they're creamy, they're soft. Some of them again you do have to build up for that intense glow if you do like that. I also think this is a great palette if you are a beginner, you want some gorgeous highlighters, or if you are a makeup artist like me who wants something for their kit that's gonna look good on a variety of different people. I would definitely get one of these. Again, the restock date is very soon. It's on July 7th at 10 a.m. So I'll leave all the information for this palette down below if you're interested in checking it out. Unfortunately, you cannot get this one anymore, which sucks products, but if you want something somewhat similar, I would definitely recommend picking up this one. So that's gonna be it for this review, comparisons, and swatch video. I hope you all liked it and I hope you found it helpful or informative. Let me know down below on what you guys think of these new Colourpop palettes and if you're gonna be picking up them soon. Again, I hope you all really liked it. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, as well as subscribe if you haven't already. I love you all so very much, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!